Hi, thanks for joining me today for a market update. I want to talk about really two things. Why it's important to stay on top of the market, and secondly, how can you do that? What's important is to stay on top of the market, whether you're trying to sell right now, thinking about it in a few months, or even a year. As you might know by now, I lived in Hawaii for 10 years, and prior to that, I lived in San Francisco, being close to the ocean has been part of my lifestyle for a very long time. One of the first things that you learn is, guess it, you probably already know, never ever turn your back on a wave. When I lived on Kauai, many times I saw tourists knocked over where they were just, it didn't look like anything, and then all of a sudden this big wave comes up and knocked over. This is how people get hurt. Well, to use that analogy, when we're looking at real estate, it's very similar. When you go for a surfing lesson, the very first thing they do is they don't teach you about getting up on the board, they teach you how to watch the ocean. You learn the waves. And what I used to tell tourists on Kauai is if you go to a beach and all the surfers are standing by their pickup trucks watching the ocean and they're not in the water, don't go in the water and ask the surfers before you get in the water. Well, similarly, when we look at real estate trends locally as well as nationwide, but what we really only care about is your area because that's what affects your property. When we're looking at the wave set, to use the analogy, forgive me, I'm a storyteller. We look at the wave set in your neighborhood, that's what matters. You know, if somebody's catching a long wave over there, fine, that's great, I'm happy for them. But what if there's a rip tide right there? And just as the ocean can change very quickly, so does the real estate market. We've seen that in the past, and we see it month to month. We can even see it week to week. So set yourself up for some data so that you can be that pro surfer. And when you go in the water, you'll be able to grab that great ride into shore.